Is everybody present? Okay, I'm assuming we can start now. Okay. So, welcome to the Jitsin English debate competition. Debaters, after I read the motion, you will have 15 minutes to prepare. You may use any books or devices you find helpful. Each of you will speak up to 4 minutes. You may never interrupt the speaker. I will put a reminder in the chat when you have 1 minute left, and remind you again when you are out of time. If that happens, you may finish your sentence, but then you must finish your speech. You will have 60 seconds between speakers to work with your team. Be respectful and listen carefully to your opponents. Remember, after the debate, you will give them feedback on how to become better debaters. Audience, you may not leave if a student is speaking, and you may not talk with the teams. Now, before we begin, Affirmative Team, what is your team number?
106.
106. Are any Affirmative Team members missing?
No.
Okay. Negative Team, what is your team number?
108.
All right. Are any negative team members missing?
No.
All right. Today's motion is social media should be censored. You have 15 minutes starting now. All right, time is up. Speaker number 1 for the affirmative team. What is your student ID letter?
A.
A. Okay. Thank you. Please turn on your camera. Introduce yourself and begin.
A very good morning to the educators, member of the floor, and also my respected opponents. My name is Daphne, and I am the first speaker of the affirmative team. Would like to strongly agree with the topic today, which is social media should be censored. My team definition of today's topic is social media censorship is the suppression of speech, public communication, and thought. Some of the content will be censored by social media. This includes violation of national law, hate speech, and inappropriate content for youth. I'll be giving out the role of the affirmative team. I, as the first speaker, will be giving the definition of today's debate and giving out my team's first point, which is social media should be censored because it can cause cyberbullying. Andrea, as the second speaker, will be rebutting the negative team point and giving out our team's second point, which is social media should be censored to avoid children exposed to inappropriate or offending content. And my team's third point, social media should be censored, but it must be balanced between free speech and censorship. Wani, as the third speaker, will also be rebutting the negative team point and summarizing our team case. And now, I will giving out our team first point. Social media should be censored because it can cause cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is a hairy tool these days because of the various platforms that are provided by the internet that have been brutally misused by certain people. This is not only affect an individual and his family, but it does affect the society as a whole. Bullying can impact negatively on a person's physical and mental health, causing harm in the form of physical injury, stress-related illness, depression, and also suicide cases. For an example, a Korean famous pop star named Suri, who suffered online bullying and harassment, found commit suicide at her own home. There are still many cases caused by cyberbullying, like the Suri case. If we censor the bullying on social media, we can help people less suffer and prevent suicides. We also have a research data that tell us there are many cyberbullying cases on social media. In June 2010, young people aged 14 to 17 years old had the highest rate of internet use in Australia, with 91% spending time online every week. Cyberbullying affects at least 1 in 10 students in Australia. Online bullying places vulnerable groups at risk. Social media channels must be held responsible for censoring that content and reinforcing respect for those groups. So, ladies and gentlemen, learned educators, in conclusion, we, the affirmative team, strongly agree with topic today, which is social media should be censored. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. All right, sorry, time's up. Speaker number 1 for the negative team. What's your student ID letter?
1088.
Your student ID letter. A, B.
17195.
Are you A, B, or C?
8. Yes, 8.
Okay. Thank you. Please turn on your camera, introduce yourself, and begin.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. Social media censorship does not solve the problems, but only the symptoms. The topic for our debate is social media should be censored. First of all, we agree with the definition given by the affirmative team. However, we, the negative team, believe that this statement is false. So I will talk out our team split first. Today, as the first speaker, I will be talking to you about our team's first point, which is censorship do not solve the problems. And our second speaker will be giving the rebuttal and talk about our team's second and third point, which are education is the right way to cure society, not censorship. Our third speaker will talk about our team's final point, which is freedom and sum up our team case. So the first speaker of the affirmative team have said that censor social media can help to reduce hate speech, cyberbullying, and violation. This is wrong. If not education, it is very useless. And this second speaker will expand about it. And now I will discuss this topic with a new perspective, which is social media censoring is useless. When censoring the internet, you are not addressing the problem. All this hate speech, cyberbullying, violation cannot really correct, because the opinions is censored. Opinions should matter. And when they don't, you are going to have a new problems. This is not a way to going about to fixing problem in our society. Those problems are not to going away with censor social media. The problem is still there. And then didn't take any real action to censor social media is useless. And these new problems will manifest in some other areas. In many cases, as the past show us, this could result in other issues because no one has an outlet for their frustrations. If you take away free speech, this result in other forms of speech, like more and more hate speech in reality world, and will make more people to occur chaos, and more people will protest, more people die, more people will suffer in the real world. So this is a direct result of removing somebody's ability to have a say and their voice heard. Social media censorship takes a subject that you don't agree with and sweep it under the rug and never solve the problem. It hides it and hope you will go away. And then no problem are solved. In conclusion, we negative team do not support the statement, which is social media should be censored. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker, starting now. All right, time's up. Speaker number 2 for the affirmative team. What is your student ID letter?
B.
All right. Now, please introduce yourself Turn on your camera and begin. Okay.
A very good morning to the judges, member of the floor, and my dear opponents. The topic of today's debate is social media should be censored. We, the affirmative team, strongly believe that this statement is true. The first speaker from the negative team have tried to tell you that social media censorship is useless. This is wrong because social media didn't fully censorship all the topic. For example, YouTube have the rules and regulation for all they want is censorship. And some of the platforms focusing on freedom of speech, such as Telegram, has been conscious many unusual activities on it. And this is why social media should be censored. The first speaker from our team has already explained uncensored content will lead to cyberbullying. From the heartbroken story that cyberbullying truly can affect one's mental health or even physical harm. Now I would like to share my team's second point, which is social media should be censored to avoid children exposed to inappropriate or upsetting content. Some of the video on YouTube categorized as child-friendly, but which contain themes that are inappropriate for children. This is called the Elsa Gate. Typically, these videos are easy to recognize in low cost, drawing children with some familiar characters like Elsa in Frozen or Spider-Man. The vast majority of this video are Spider-Man and Elsa together, with Elsa often depicted as being pregnant. Indeed, Elsa Gate highlights the dark underbelly of the digital age, as the sheer volume of video hatefully deleted from the site proves that YouTube algorithms were utterly ineffective at protecting young children. So, how social media YouTube solved Elsa Gate? On August 30, 2018, YouTube announced that they have been launching a new YouTube app, which is safer for children to watch. And this evidence is proving the importance of social media censorship. That's another example that could explain why social media should be censored. On January 22, 2021, a 10-year-old Italian girl died due to the TikTok challenge named Blackout Challenge. As you may ask, what is a blackout challenge? Similar to another dangerous challenge on the internet, the blue whale. Participants of this game would shock themselves till they pass out. However, the death of the young girl provoked strong reactions in Italy and called for better regulation of social networks. In short, social media should be necessarily censored to ensure child safety. Now to my team's third point. Social media should be censored in a balance between freedom of speech and censorship. So, there's a question, why do social media need to censor? For example, at election time when fake news is a hot button topic on all sides of the political spectrum, that might be a controversial opinion. Donald Trump Twitter and Facebook has been suspected as the account have violated the rules and regulations from the social media. We can balance between freedom of speech and censorship by giving the right to users who are using social media or platforms to censor information that is in violation. For example, LBRY, a platform believed by people will change the manipulation of YouTube, is implementing a way to balance between freedom of speech and censorship. They used to give users the right to choose what they think they need to censor. So, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we, the affirmative team, strongly agree with today's topic whether social media should be censored. I would like to end my speech here. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, second speaker of the negative team. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker, starting now. All right, time is up. Speaker number 2 for the negative team. What is your student ID letter?
C.
C? Okay. Please turn on your camera, introduce yourself, and begin.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is social media should be censored. We, the negative team, believe that this statement is false. The second affirmative speaker has tried to tell you that censorship is good because it can help shield the dangers from children or something. But this is wrong because it do not teach the children what is at stake and the ways to keep themselves safe. This leaves the children to be more vulnerable for future dangers and stuff. So today I'll be talking to you about our second point, which is education is the right way to cure society, not censorship. Censoring the social media is like a parent yelling at their kid to shut up without teaching them the correct way to deal with things. It only cures the symptoms, not the problems. While censorship may create a temporary echo chamber for governments and politicians to amplify the beliefs that they think are right, but with VPNs and the possible influence of a third party, this system might crumble at any time. This will cause chaos and bring an end to the hard-earned peace since World War II. Education hands people the tools to decide for themselves what is right and what is not. On the other hand, free speech gives opportunity for new ideas and innovations to take hold. With the help of education, free speech, and governmental transparency, the country can go forward and improve as a whole. For example, countries like Netherlands, Sweden, and Denmark are constantly at the top of Good Country Index. The common ground, freedom of speech, and good education. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we, negative team, strongly disagree to the motive that social media should be censored. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker, starting now. Time is up. Speaker number 3 for the affirmative team. What is your student ID letter?
C.
All right, thank you. Please turn on your camera, introduce yourself, and begin.
Okay. Good morning to the learned educators, ladies and gentlemen. The topic of today's debate is social media should be censored. We, affirmative team, strongly agree with this topic. And now, I would like to give out my rebuttal to the opposite team. At first, the negative team are trying to tell you about social media should not be censored because social media is useless. But if you did not censor the social media, the social problem will be more and more and more. So, censor the social media is not useless. The negative team are also trying to tell you about social media should not be censored because humans have the freedom of speech in social media, but the right of free speech is not absolute. The most prominent free speech protections come from the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. But what many people seem to forget is that these protections only protect individuals from federal and state action. The United States Supreme Court has ruled that the government sometimes may be allowed to limit speech. For example, the government may limit or ban libel, obscenity, fighting words, and words that present a clear and present danger of inciting violence. The government also may regulate speech by limiting the time, place, or manner in which it is made. The speaker also said that we need freedom of speech, but we all have the responsibility to society. Therefore, we cannot only focus on free speech and neglect the majority of citizens in the society. Our first speaker spoke to you about social media should be censored because it will cause cyberbullying. Bullying can impact negatively on a person's physical and mental health. Our second speaker gave out a statement to you about social media should be censored to avoid children exposed to inappropriate or upsetting content. There is a lot of verbal dialogue and nonsensical activity on social media. If we did not take any action, children might have a bad influence. She also stated that the social media should be censored, but it must be balanced between free speeches and censorship, giving the rights to users who are using the social media or platform to censor so that we can balance between freedom of speech and censorship. So, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we, the affirmative team, strongly agree with today's topic, which is social media should be censored. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. All right. Time is up. Speaker number 3 for the negative team. What is your student ID letter?
108B.
B. Okay. Thank you. Please turn on your camera, introduce yourself, and begin.
Okay, greetings. So good morning to all the educator, timekeeper, and my opposite team and my debaters. So today our topic is social media should be censored. So our statement is to disagree that. So at first, in my speech I will give my rebuttals points and conclude my team points and support. And allow me to give my rebuttal to the first speaker. First speaker has said that we can be balanced between free speech and censorship. That sounds a ideal solution, but in fact, do you know there are still a lot of countries they use the law like that, but they abuse that. They use that reputation to go dictatorship, like China, Hong Kong. That recently national security law. And cyberbullying is an education problem. Is social media censorship? In real life, there are still a lot of bullying problem. And social media censorship, media should be censorship also. Like if we can, like because that media will do that because that media lack of viewer to create advertisement can't get the attention of the algorithm, so they have to make more short fake news to let algorithm train their posts. But the social media company pay to media like Australian News lost media bargaining code, so the media can make more quality news. You don't have to censor. And then we also, and then that second speaker said that children export some not pleasure content. This is the problem of self-love. That children self-love, and laws should do that. Laws should punish that and people are innocent. It should not be censorship. And then censorship affect the creativity, like YouTuber. There are still a lot of YouTubers can't be themselves. Their video, yellow mark can't make the profit and revenue. And then the bigger challenge from second speaker is the problem of self-love. It's not about the social media. And there are still some movements positive, helpful for society, like Black Lives Matter, about common policy and other. So and then other things is said that we are opposed that the political correctness can solve the society. And then in my third point, we stand for freedom of speech, we live in democracy, dictatorship is not our way. Censorship violates the freedom of speech, government can't be watched by journalism. Journalists are the ones who go on site to document and tell the world what is happening in the world. We need journalism, and that's how democracy works. If not, it will become a kind of dictatorship. People won't tell the truth, like corruption and such. For example, in China, when COVID-19 first wave happened in Wuhan, a few Wuhan citizens to become citizen journalists to report the documentary of Wuhan. Shortly thereafter, they vanished. Nobody can tell the truth, whatever they were really jail or what they had done. And after that, their reports documentary are censored in China and also banned, but in outside China, their documentaries tell people's stories. So in my conclusion of the team points, he said that first speaker say that censorship does not solve the problem, but only the symptoms. Second speaker said that education is a right way to cure society problem. And my speech, we live in democracy, we support freedom of speech. And that's all our team points and end of the debate. Thank you.
All right, thank you to the third speaker of the negative team. Before I announce the winner, each team must give up to 90 seconds of feedback and advice to the other team. You may divide this time however you would like. To score well, you must be courteous, constructive, and kind. Do not use this time to keep arguing the motion. Instead, focus on how your opponents could become better debaters. You have 90 seconds to plan your feedback. I am not allowed to give any feedback of my own. Time starts now.
Good morning to the educators.
Oh wait, you have 90 seconds to prepare.
Oh yes. Oh sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. All right, time is up. We shall now start with the negative team.
Hi. Negative team will give the affirmative team the comment, like feedback. Your point is excellent and your fluency is got above standard, especially second speaker. And you can try to improve by watching some debate shows so that you can improve more debating skills and make it more excellent. Overall, the speech is very good. And then, thank you.
One thing I want to point out is like rebuttal, put it more on the main points.
and you guys can speak more clearly. You guys have still that improvement.
All right. Is the negative team done with the feedback? All right. Now moving on to the affirmative team, starting now.
Good morning to educators, member of the floor, and also my opponent. My name is Daphne, and I would be representing our group to give out our thoughts. First of all, it's very honorable to have a competition with you guys, and you guys surely have a good pronunciation. And the point that freedom of speech is also really a good point. And last but not least, good luck for the next round. Thank you.
Hi, good morning to the judges and member of the floor and my opponents. My name is Andrew from the Affirmative Team. So I will be giving out my thoughts to you guys. I mean, you guys really have done a great job. I really like the confidence of the second speaker. And for first speaker, thank you for your compliment. We will really appreciate it. And for third speaker, I really admire that you really conclude many news on your statement. And last but not least, have a nice day and good luck for the next round. Thank you.
Thank you for your feedback and make us a bit like 心花怒放.
Thank you.
All right. Time is up for the affirmative team. And now it is now time to announce the winner. This round goes to the affirmative team. Now, please turn on all of your webcams and congratulate one another.
Congrats.
Congrats. Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right. All right, if everyone is present, we shall start now. Okay. Welcome to the Jitsin English debate competition. Debaters, after I read the motion, you have 15 minutes to prepare, and you may use any books or devices you find helpful. Each of you will speak up to 4 minutes. You may never interrupt the speaker. I will put a reminder in the chat when you have 1 minute left and remind you again when you are out of time. If that happens, you may finish your sentence, but then you must sit down. You will have 60 seconds between speakers to work with your team. Be respectful and listen carefully to your opponents. Remember, after the debate, you will give them feedbacks on how to become better debaters. Audience, you may not leave if a student is speaking, and you may not talk with the teams. Now, before we begin, affirmative team, what is your team number?
206.
206.
Sorry, come again.
206.
206. All right. Are any affirmative team members missing?
No.
Okay. Negative team, what is your team number?
201.
201. Are any negative team members missing?
No.
All right. Today's motion is cooking at home is better than dining out. You have 15 minutes starting now. All right, time is up. Speaker 1 for the affirmative team, what is your student ID letter? Speaker number 1 from the affirmative team. Affirmative team. Any affirmative team
Sorry,
member?
wait a minute. Sorry.
All right. No,
She's coming. Sorry.
all right. What is your student ID letter? First speaker.
My ID is C206C.
All right. C. All right. Thank you. Please introduce yourself and begin.
A very good morning to the honorable judges, the voting opponents, and my teammates. I'm the first speaker on the affirmative team, and our stand for today is cooking at home is better than dining out. Before I start my speech, I would like to define the motion. Cooking at home is home member together to prepare a food and together enjoy the meat. Today, we will prove from a different perspective that we should prepare food at home better than out of home food. From the perspective of health, time and money should choose to eat food cooked at home instead of outside meals. As a first speaker, I will be taking to you about health problem. My second agreement will be talk the point was point 2 and point 3. Our third speaker will rebut the affirmation case and sum up our team case. Nowadays, it's no surprise that the number of the people eating at home is designed. We will happen eating out, reducing the number of the home we cook at home. The calories consumed by fast food and restaurants have become a larger part of the calorie pie with the percentage of calories cooked at home has declined. However, this is very unfortunate and can easily lead an obsessing addict. Why? Because the food prepared at home is healthy. We can eat fewer calories when we cook at home. However, if a restaurant dish at home cooked meal are compared by calories, the home cooked meals will be healthy. Julia A. Wolfram of MPP says even if people cook at home, they consume less carbohydrates, sugars, and fats than those who do less or don't cook at all. The CRF Lenter researchers at the Center for the Library Future at Johns Hopkins University and the lead author of the student at Johns Hopkins University School of Public Health. They also have more fiber consumed and iron compared to foods prepared outside the homes. The increase in cooking is also related to more consumption of fruit, vegetable, and whole grains. The study has shown that those who eat more frequently at home also ate fewer calories when they did choose to eat out. The fit in eating away from home, therefore, also means a fit in consumption of more unhealthy food. Preparing food at home could with chronic disease prevention such as heart disease, diabetes, cirrhosis, and gastrointestinal cancers. My speech until here. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Apologies. Let's move on. Speaker 1 for the negative team, what is your student ID letter?
C.
All right, thank you. Please begin your speech.
Thanks to the affirmative team speaker and good morning to everyone. I'm Go Hoi Ho, the first speaker of negative team. We strongly disagree that the affirmative team say cooking at home is better than dining out. Cooking takes a lot of time and commitment. Sometimes you may just have the time or not have the time or energy to prepare a meal. If you also want to prepare a meal, this wastes our energy and time, and this will make the people who was cooking will be very tired. Besides that, we can bring our family and friends to restaurant or dining out to enjoy the food in.
Let's wait for her to reconnect.
I'm sorry she lost her connection.
Is she able to connect back now?
Yeah, she's trying to get back now.
All right.
Sorry, I have lost the connection just now.
No worries, you can continue. Go ahead.
Yes. Besides that, whenever you are throwing a party or just planning a meeting with a large group of people, planning food for a lot of people can get quite difficult and costly. Eating out can catering make this issue a lot easier, and it's allowed you to relax and it's come to preparing food for everyone. In some cases, catering from restaurant can also be cheaper than preparing food yourself for large group. These are my points of view, and I strongly disagree that cooking at home is better than dining out. Thank you.
All right. Thank you to the first speaker. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. All right, time is up. Speaker number 2 for the affirmative team, what is your student ID letter?
A.
All right, thank you. Please turn on your webcam, introduce yourself, and begin.
Good morning to the honorable judges, worthy opponents, and my fellow teammates. I am the second speaker of the affirmative team. Firstly, I would like to start off with some rebuttal, and the first speaker of the opposite team say that dining out can save more time, but nowadays there are many recipes that more saving time than dining out. And also, she said that it's too tired to the people who need to cook. This point I will rebut at my third point. Okay, now into my point, which is cooking at home is better than dining out. As my first speaker say about healthy problem, but the opposite team's first speaker say that we can eat fast food, but fast food will bring some deleterious impact to our health. So it is not good to our health if we eating fast food. Then my team's second point is saying that we can save more money rather than dining out. When we when we need to go out and we need to pay the patron and patron fees, and when we eat in the restaurant, we need to pay the service tax, and the founder of the restaurant will also take some profit on it. For instance, my father obsessed with cooking crab, especially during the movement control order period. He told me if we cook home, the meal costs 80 ringgit. But if we dine outside, the meal will at least cost 500 ringgit or above. It is a huge grab, especially if the family have suffered in some financing problem. And my team third point is cooking can also improve our family relationship. It is not only a person to cook for the whole family. We can do the research of the recipe and cook together. It is not a heavy burden to the person who need to cook. And last, my team strongly agree that cooking at home is better than dining out. Thank you.
All right, thank you to the second speaker of the affirmative team. Teams, you will have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Time starts now. All right, time is up. Speaker number 2 for the negative team. What is your student ID letter?
201B.
All right, B, right? Okay. Thank
Yes.
you. Please turn on your webcam, introduce yourself, and begin.
Thanks to the affirmative team speaker, I'm Loising Chi, the second speaker of negative. We strongly disagree that cooking at home is better than dining out. It is because we no need to wash the dishes and mess up our kitchen become untidy. For example, after cooking the food, our kitchen will become dirty and oily. Furthermore, as as the affirmative speakers say that we can get the recipe from the internet. However, we can enjoy more variety outside traditional food because we cannot duplicate the original taste of the traditional food. If we do not purchase from them, they will lose their income. As a result, our Malaysia economy will deteriorate rapidly. In addition, we can make the decisions to choose the healthy food instead of fast food. Not only the traditional food, we also can have the right to choose healthy food such as vegetarian food or Japanese food, Korean food, Western food, and so on. Moreover, the restaurant environment is full of romance. We can more enjoyable and relax in the moment compared to cooking at home. Eating outside can be a very pleasurable as expensive. Having dinner with a friend, eating a romantic meal will on a date or celebrating some special event with a party at a restaurant are all things we enjoy doing. Besides, we also can build the family and friends relationship through dining outside. As my teammate mentioned before, saving time and energy to put more effort on other things. Time is precious. We need to treasure it and widely use it in other place. For example, we may save cooking time and can more focus and our study of work. These are my points of view, and I strongly disagree that cooking at home is better than dining out. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Teams, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Time starts now. All right, time's up. Speaker number 3 for the affirmative team. What is your student ID letter?
Boy, B.
B, okay. Thank you. Please turn on your camera, introduce yourself, and begin.
Okay, thank you. Good morning to the honorable adjudicators, worthy opponents, and my fellow teammates. I am the third speaker of the affirmative team that strongly agrees with the motion that this house believes cooking at home is better than dining out. I will mainly do some rebuttals and summarize my team's point. Firstly, I would like to claim that the opponents had mentioned that it will cause the one who in charge of cooking very exhausted. This is some kind of discrimination actually. Cooking at home is not the responsibility of one person. This is the whole family obligation. It is also some kind of activities that can improve the relationship between members. Next, the opponent's team had also mentioned that it will increase our relationship with friends dining outside. But why can't we dining at home? It is totally has the same effects. Moreover, dining out will be lack of privacy than dining at home. Next, to sum up my team's point, I would like to recapitulate what my teammates had mentioned, which dining home. We can save money. Lots of extra costs will be charged when dining outside. Health problems and be more hygienic, especially in this particular period, this COVID-19 rampant spread period. Due to the rampant spread of COVID-19, increased contact with others when we go out. We will increase our contact with the others. And then it will also increase the chances we get infected by the virus. And of course, the pandemic also causes a great quantity of people facing unemployment. If we keep on dining outside, it is unaffordable for those people. As a conclusion, I would like to re-emphasize that cooking at home is better than dining out because it is economic and worth value. Keeping your own health, that are a great quantities of benefits good home brings for us. And so we should cook at home rather than dining out. It is you to keep your body in a safe and healthy situation. You are responsible for yourself. Thank you.
All right, thank you to the third speaker of the affirmative team. Teams, you will have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Time starts now. All right, time is up. Third speaker for the negative team, what is your student ID letter?
A.
Okay, thank you. Please turn on your webcam, introduce yourself, and begin.
Okay. Thanks to the affirmative team speaker. I'm Candice, the third speaker of negative team. I strongly disagree with the argument that affirmative speaker said that dining at home is more cleaner, so please allow me to rebuke it. In fact, there are many restaurants that are clean and tidy and the food is delicious. If you said that eating in a restaurant is not hygienic, I think that is a bit unreasonable. Also, everyone only has 24 hours in a day. It is not the problem of the time is sufficient. It's the problem of we need to save time. As long as you spend dining at home, you will waste a lot of time. Therefore, lastly, we need to admit that eating in the restaurant is more comfortable because you don't need to wash the dishes after eating. For those people who don't know how cooking may mess up the kitchen, it is very convenient for them. Besides, in the process of waiting for the food to be served, we can also use this time to chat with family members to enhance mutual feelings. In a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, learn educators, we are the negative. Strongly disagree that cooking at home is better than dining out. Thank you.
All right. Give me a minute. Okay. Before I announce the winner, each team must give up to 90 seconds of feedback and advise to the other team. You may divide this time however you would like. To score well, you must be courteous, constructive, and kind. Do not use this time to keep arguing the motion. Instead, focus on how your opponents could become better debaters. You have 90 seconds to plan your feedback. I am not allowed to give any feedback of my own. Planning of feedback starts now. All right, time is up. It is now time for the peer feedback session. Please speak from your seats. I will stop you after 90 seconds. Negative team, you may go first.
Okay, in my opinion, I think the affirmative team vocal points are very good and we're learning about it, and we strive as much as possible and they revert well. Thank you.
All right, anyone else from the negative team wants to give any feedback or any advice? Is that all, negative team? If there's no response, I'll take that as a yes. Okay, now moving on to the affirmative team. You may start now.
Okay, thank you. I would like to say we two teams are lack of experience actually, and then maybe we are speaking too short. Our time is not fully sufficiently used, and then but you two do such a great the opponent's team had done such a great job because I think you are just from one, right? We're already senior three, but this is our first time to participate in debate. But you guys are great. Thank you.
All right, is that all for the affirmative team?
Yes.
All right. Thank you to both your teams. It is now time to announce the winner. This round goes to the affirmative team. All right, now please turn on all of your webcams and congratulate one another.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to all of you.
Hi, congratulations on finishing all the rounds. Judges and debaters, please proceed to S1SE. We will be announcing the senior and junior finalists there. Thank you.